Yeah, thank you. Ms. Clark, so you think that if we just take a large group of people and throw them into a city, that all skin colors are going to reflect the same over all these demographics that we're measuring, like suspensions? I mean, we cannot just attribute everything to race. I mean, it's a multivariable question, and there are a lot of different parts going on there. But so what are we saying? Are we saying that we've had racist disciplinarians for the last however many?
There's if I could.
This needs to go to a subcommittee.
Yeah, I think we can certainly have it a more in-depth conversation, but I also think that you're right in terms of the complexity of it, and race is part of the social construct that comes into play in terms of how we perceive each other, how we perceive the world, how someone perceives me, how someone perceives you, and understanding each other and making sure that we're providing a full understanding of one another, including the conversation of race and linguistic background, is a part of understanding that full complexity. I think for far too long, neglecting that aspect of the complexity. I grew up in a time where what we put forward was the notion of color blindness. What we learned through that entire era of color blindness is that we were exacerbating these results and these gaps that unfortunately had certain groups advantage and other groups disadvantage. We can see
oppressors and oppressed, right?
I'm sorry?
The oppressors and oppressed.
You certainly have that play out across time. I think that there's clear evidence that play out across time. And I think understanding that, I can tell you, I think I've spoken to the multitude of conversations and the variety of learning that I've been a part of related to white privilege, where I certainly never identified as someone who grew up through privilege given the economic circumstances of my family. So that was certainly some awareness building myself just around privilege. There's other conversations that have been really beneficial to me as an educator across time, particularly conversations around intersectionality and the complexity of my own personal background and how that relates out through intersectionality. That's also been beneficial, I think, been beneficial to educators across the district. So this is not looking at it in any type of myopic way, nor is it looking at it as that anything is somehow the silver bullet solving the challenges that are in front of us. Making sure that we're not neglecting any aspect of it or walking away or shying away from the most difficult aspects of it. And if we're going to be very, very frank within the society we live in, the United States of America, race has been some of the most complex and most shied away from conversations. And we've got to make sure that I think the language Ms. Phelps used of intentionality.
Shied away from, it's all we talk about.
Why don't we send the subcommittee if we want to? Is there a motion to send this to the subcommittee? Ms. Doherty, did you have a question or are you seconding?
Well, I'm actually chair of the equity subcommittee, and I would be